Hey, what's up, everybody? Wade Watches here, coming to you with not just an out of the theater reaction, but also actually a review, because this is just the movie that I just saw, which I'll reveal in a second. It's just another one of those instances where I can give you my full review, my full thoughts right here and right now. I'm not going to worry about marinating on it like I did, Oppenheimer or something like that. So here we go. So, movie that I just saw with my good friend who's walking alongside me right now is Gran Turismo. Her and I actually saw a sneak preview of it. This does not come out. This is not out for a wide release until next Friday, the 25th. So we got to see not only the movie but the Q&A with the director, and he has a long name. The real motorsport driver that this movie is based off of. Yeah, Marlboro, something like that. I'm so sorry if I'm, huh?
Marlboro.
Marlboro. Thank you, Julia. So yeah, Marlboro. And I will not say that this movie did anything special with that underdog story, going against the odds, following your dream, although nobody believes in you. Because it's very much that story, that familiar tale. You've seen it before. You've seen it especially with any good number of sports movies. It seems like every other sports movie that comes out is an underdog story. So while I can't say this broke the mold, although it is directed by the great Neil Blomkamp of District 9 and Elysium fame, two of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies, which is why I was excited to see this, I can't say it really broke the mold or really surprised me. But I will admit right here and now that one scene, no spoilers, I don't give anything away. Firstly, it almost gave me a fucking heart attack, and then I cried. I like the floodgates open, and no shame, because like it got me in the feels, man. So any movie that does that to me is not an average run-of-the-mill movie. The emotions, it starts. I admit that I was worried when it started out, and I was reminded, thanks to the opening logos, that this was indeed based off of a PlayStation game title of the same name, Gran Turismo. I don't own a PlayStation, so I wasn't really aware of that racing game, but apparently that's what it's based off of. So I was kind of like, how's this gonna be? But and when it started out, it was all right. When it started out, it was average. I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. But it's one of those things where it got more emotional, and I got more emotionally invested in these characters as it went along. And I'm thankful for that. I don't know this new actor's name off the top of my head, unfortunately. The one portraying, the protagonist of the movie, portraying the real-life esports racer. But he did a phenomenal job. Awesome big screen debut. But the show stealer of this movie is definitely David Harbour, as kind of the mentor character, kind of the surrogate father. Stole every scene he was in, owns this movie, though he's technically not the central protagonist, so kudos to him. Orlando Bloom is also in this movie. Good job. Kind of more in the background, all things considered. He doesn't have the super biggest role, kind of a big role, but it's mostly David Harbour and this new guy whose name I don't remember off the top of my head. And also another scene stealer when he was there, because he's not in the movie all that much. Jimon Hansu as Yan's father. Another scene where I almost teared up involves him and his son. So, yeah, again, that's the thing that though I can't say that this movie reinvented the underdog sports drama. It got a couple of tears out of me. The race car sequences were really well done. The sound design was on point. And what I liked about the race car sequences is that it was more focused on highlighting how dangerous this the sport of race car driving is, as opposed to how badass and cool it is. So respect to them for favoring authenticity more so than favoring making everything look badass and awesome. I really respect that. So, yeah, wrapping it up again. I'm not gonna. It's one of those movies where you watch it, you know exactly where it's gonna go, where it's gonna end up, what's gonna happen. I don't even need to say anything. I'm keeping it as vague as possible, but you'll know when you see it. Unfortunately, it's one of those trailers where gives away a bit too much, so I would avoid the trailers for Gran Turismo if you plan on seeing it, if you can. But it's still it gets you right in the feels at the end. At the end, it sets out to accomplish what it wants to do. In the Q&A that we saw after the credits, Neil Blomkamp said he just wanted this to be, a feel-good, inspirational movie that reminds people that they can accomplish whatever they set out to accomplish if they work hard enough and don't listen. Basically, ignore haters and naysayers, and that's what he achieved with Gran Turismo at the very end. Though it's not groundbreaking, though I'm sure it won't get nominated for any Oscars, despite some really awesome sound design and practical effects with the race cars. It's still one of those feel-good, inspirational stories that you'll love if you're into that sort of thing, like I am. So wrapping it up, I'm going to give Gran Turismo a 7 out of 10. Can't get it any higher than that because, again, it's not anything super special, nor is it anything that we haven't seen before. It basically is more or less the Rocky of race car movies. But hey, that's not a bad thing, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I obviously still had a good time with it, and I told you guys, I literally teared up. So that's not bad at all. So yeah, wrapping it up again, 7 out of 10 for Gran Turismo. This has been another mobile edition of Wade Watches, and I will see you lovely people next time. Peace.